All right, so Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev just went down. We put on the glasses because we have to analyze what just happened. Bivol wins back the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. And the people are asking, are we going to see a third? Are we looking to the trilogy? Does it even warrant one? Let's look back at the fight, the breakdown. Let's go. So like I said, Dmitry Bivol wins the rematch between him and Artur Beterbiev. This fight was another banger. The first one was good. I thought this one was better because we got to see the true skill and ability of Dmitry Bivol, not just on the offensive side or the defensive side. He put together both in a combination in which he was able to outlast the raw power and forward pressure of Artur Beterbiev. Rounds 1 through 3, I think, went to Dmitry Bivol. He got off to the fast start and the aggressive start that I thought he would, kind of just like the first fight where he came out with combinations, punches and bunches at Artur Beterbiev, but he was doing it differently this time. It wasn't just off the back foot. He stood toe-to-toe with Artur Beterbiev, and he was able to land combinations and not get touched by a lot of the volume that Beterbiev was putting on him and kind of stand his ground early in this fight. I thought it was super impressive. I thought the game plan was very interesting, and I thought it was going to backfire because after those 3 rounds, however you scored that third round, you could go Beterbiev or Bivol. Didn't really matter to me. I think I had it Bivol. I don't remember now that we're talking about it, but it was either that one I gave Bivol or it was round 10 that I gave Bivol, and it ended up flipping both of them regardless. But after that moment, 4 or 5, you could even say 6, 7, and potentially 8, Artur Beterbiev started to really ramp up the pressure on Bivol. He started to get in his face, suffocate him with the forward pressure, behind the jab right hands, and try to make this more of, again, a suffocating, plant your feet and throw with me, but do it on my terms, not yours, where Beterbiev would try to stalk Bivol into the ropes, try to get him in positions that were uncomfortable, and eventually unload just, the 1-2s or the 1-2-3s. It wasn't a lot of variety. It wasn't really any kind of smoke and mirrors. Artur Beterbiev was doing what he does. Big power punches. And at that point, those 4 rounds, a lot of volume behind it as well. He was putting together punches. He was doing it on the front foot. It looked like the first fight again, where he was starting to turn the tide of this thing, but he was doing it earlier this time, almost as to say, I want to leave no doubt, having gone late into that last fight and a controversial decision based on the fact that he only turned it around that 6, 7, and 8 round. Rounds 9 and 10, Bivol takes the fight back over. You're starting to see him use his footwork, pivot out, combinations, 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in bunches, and actually starting to hit Artur Beterbiev, who seems like he's made out of stone, iron, steel, adamantium, whatever you want to say. It made him look a bit vulnerable. He was hitting Beterbiev with punches that were actually getting reactions, whereas in the first fight and for the first 7 to 8 rounds of the second fight, he was hitting Beterbiev and it didn't seem like it was affecting him at all. There was a particular right hand and left hook that I saw Bivol land in these 2 rounds that shook Beterbiev, at least to the point where it was like, oh, I can't just walk forward. I got to reset and potentially fight this a different way. That, in my opinion, changed this fight because we had seen Bivol box off the back foot. We'd seen him stick and move, plant his feet, boom, 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 stick and move and slide out. But in this fight, we saw a little bit of that. We saw him stand in the pocket with Artur Beterbiev. We saw him in moments trade with Artur Beterbiev and then get back to the footwork and the distance management and the bouncing around the outside and sitting down combinations and sliding away. This was a complete performance from Dmitry Bivol. And as we got into round 11, this looked like potentially a fight that was going to go. This looked like a close fight again that potentially you didn't know how it was going to go because Beterbiev got back on his game, landed more punches here, started to turn the tide once again, and it came down to a 12th round that I think whoever you thought won this round did dictate the outcome of the fight because I had it 7-5 in favor of Bivol. Now, I don't think that this was a runaway win for Bivol, but I do think it was a win. And he took that 12th round, and I thought showcased, especially toward the end of the 12th round, the difference in the fight, the variety in which he could attack, the moments that he took advantage of in an otherwise, I thought, close fight. I still think Bivol did enough by winning 7 out of the 12 rounds to take this fight 115-113 with, again, his combination of the offense and defense, his combination of fight tactics, being able to stand toe-to-toe with Beterbiev in moments, not for rounds, not silly enough to put himself in position too many times because he did go to the well once or twice a little too much, and Beterbiev made him pay with a stunning right hand or a big chopping hook. And it made Bivol realize once again, hey, this guy is not to be messed with for more than a couple of seconds at a time. You don't want to sit in exchanges for long periods because he will make you pay. And that's when he would get back to his defense and sliding. And I thought that Bivol did a good job of going to Beterbiev's body here too, because the one thing everyone talked about in the last fight was how Bivol slowed down as the rounds went on. His gas tank was clearly better this time, but he also slowed down the machine that was Beterbiev in moments by going to his body and allowing himself to have those moments to breathe and not just be forward pressure the entirety of the fight from Beterbiev. It looked like it was going to be that way midway through the fight, but Bivol was able to turn it late, almost a reverse of what happened the first time around. He wins this fight. One judge did have this as a draw, but he wins a majority decision, which makes us ask the question, what happens next? Do you all want the trilogy? Is that what people want to see? Because I wouldn't be mad at it. I think it would be a great end, even though this was called the last crescendo. I think it would be a great end to the rivalry, and it is 1-1. So death comes in threes. This thing needs to end in some way, and a trilogy I wouldn't be mad at, but you do have David Benavidez there waiting in the wings. And I know the talk about Zordo and all that, but David Benavidez, in my opinion, is the rightful challenger for the undisputed belts right now because of what he's been able to do in the Morrell fight and moving up in weight. And I just think it's his time. I don't know if they're going to get that done. I don't know that Al Heyman is going to be able to get that one across the line with Turki Al-Sheikh. I just think that it's the right time to do it. So I wouldn't be mad either way. I really don't care. I think either way, you're getting a great fight. I think it's probably a tough matchup. Whoever you put Bivol against, I don't know what you do next. I just know this was another great fight on a otherwise fantastic boxing card as well. Look, we had some pullouts on this card. Joseph Parker ends Martin Bakoli's night viciously with an overhand. Shakur Stevenson, while everybody was spamming the Z's and talking about Shakur Snoozington, I thought he did what he needed to do. Did he win a spectacular fight? No. He finished a guy he should finish. In the 9th round, it did take him a while, but at the same time, that's kind of the fighter Shakur is. And yes, the guy's an electrician. And yes, it was on 4 days' notice, but at the end of the day, he got the job done. And the biggest disappointment, I would say, of the card was Hamza Shiraz. Maybe it was a hype job. Maybe it was just the fact that he was in there with really game champion and Adamas. That was a fight I did not expect. Tabiel, I think, shocked a lot of people with how he handled Big Bang Zhang. The body work. That guy is a real heavyweight. And I'll tell you what, to be able to stand up to the power of Zhang and go to the body the way he did, then come back upstairs, even get up from being knocked down, although I think it was a bit more of an off-balance knockdown than anything else. But to get up, zap the power of the big man, and take away his gas tank and eventually stop him, that was a huge statement to the heavyweight division. I can't wait to see what happens next with him. And like I said, all around a great card. Fair play to Turki Al-Sheikh. He is doing great things for the sport of boxing. I wish that he would happen more the UK and the US, and I think we're going to get that with the London card with Ben Eubank and the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, multi-fight card in New York, and the Vegas card with Canelo and Crawford. So there's really nothing to complain about. This was a win-win for boxing, in my opinion. And the main event was a great fight. Is it an all-time classic? Probably not, but still a great fight and a performance from Dmitry Bivol in the face of that kind of heat and that kind of pressure and that kind of power and the moment, undisputed on the line, that you can only say, with the resume he's now building, an all-time great fighter doing what he does best. But you guys let me know what you think down below. Did you like this card? Did you like the way that it was built, how the card moved, and the direction boxing is going? Because I don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out.